You are the only participant in the conference. The recording has started. All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning and happy Friday, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by the Cochran Firm, Boston Scientific, and DFW Turf. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! Happy Friday. We got a long weekend ahead of us. One more Sunday sleep, just one more, and we get actual real football. And Micah Parsons is firing me up. We're going to listen to a little bit of Micah Parsons talk yesterday. I mean, the young lion, man, he just makes you want to go in the jungle and hunt some gazelles. We'll talk about the practice squad, which has been finalized, which means the roster has been finalized. And we got some injury updates and some Jason Peter updates. So we'll get to those, man. We'll get to those. But, man, I'm telling you, the second half of this show got some Micah Parsons clips. And, I mean, I'm running out of words. I'm running out of things to say about this young man. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a little crazy. If you want to get a little crazy, we can get crazy. We're going to get crazy. We're going to talk about some bold predictions later on. Not for the season. I might save that for next week. But we'll talk about some Micah Parsons stuff, bold predictions. So make sure y'all tune in for that. Hey, shout out to the Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
If you are new here and you don't know what that is, that means the folks who are here at the beginning of the show, usually who are here at the end of the show, but just in general, those who support everything we do here at A to Z Sports and your boy Skywalker does in general. If you want to keep up with all things A to Z Sports, just follow that ticker down there, the DFW Turf ticker, the #1 artificial turf installer in the DFW area. It has everything you need. You got the call-in line if you want to call in, 351-999-3787, and the website, of course. And throughout the season, we'll probably put some updates up in there too, all right? We'll probably do that as well. Are y'all excited for Friday? I know some people just got paid. some people have to work throughout the weekend and things like that. I get it's a 3-day weekend in general, and I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. I won't be here Monday. This is the last holiday, really, I'm trying to think out loud, that I'll get personally here for A to Z Sports. I don't think we're doing, because we're working on Christmas Eve, yep. And obviously we have the Dallas Cowboys Thanksgiving game. So definitely taking this last attempt to get a little holiday in before it is time to grind, Cowboys Nation. Time to grind, baby. Huh? What's going on, Swain? Toxic Tom, Joey, Lemitra, Stephen White, PZ, Triple D. We got Facebook in the building too. Professor O, Uncut Coke, Andre, Jay Versick, Captain America, what's up? Mike Harris, Toxic Tom, Tino Santiago, what's up? Stephen White, Adam Robbins, T Mac. Oh, speaking of which, T Mac, you just reminded me, which I'll be reminding y'all throughout the show. Tonight is the draft, so we're waiting on 5 people to go in and sign in so we can make sure we're good to go for tonight, 7 p.m. Central. We'll be live for that. Jaws 88, Roadhouse or No House, Gregory, Derek Smalls. Who else got in here? Jay Versick dropped a super chat early. I appreciate it, Jay.
Super chat.
Says, keep your head to the sky. Good morning, and thank God it's Friday. Also, Cowboys 13-4 because Jerry wants some glory hole. I need to put that drop back in there, man. How you doing, Miss Sheila? 6 to midnight. Sin City Cowboy, Alpha Mason, and the many more that are here and coming through. I appreciate y'all. What's good, King? T. Todd. Love y'all to death, man. Love y'all to death. All right, look. I'm going to go ahead and press this button because, I mean, where you at? This is the type of Friday we got today, y'all. It's really easy. We're going to talk about the practice squad, see what you guys like and didn't like about it, and then we'll listen to some Micah Parsons audio, open up the phone lines. It's an easy Friday. See, I didn't say short. I said easy. How long it is up to y'all. All right? So let's get into the roundup. Get to this Cowboys news.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time. It's time.
It is time for.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Hey. Yo. Kelvin Joseph, we got a little bit of an update yesterday on Kelvin Joseph, a.k.a. Boss Man Fat, a.k.a. your fifth corner. He's in stage 4 of the concussion protocol right now, which is inching closer to his return. Remember he suffered a concussion in the Seahawks final preseason game, I think on the very first play. The next stage, which is stage 5, means he's cleared to play. So he's very close to returning. And if I had to guess, I'm no doctor, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn. You'll see Kelvin Joseph out there for week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, Jordan Lewis, another cornerback who suffered the hamstring injury, I think it was in the Chargers scrimmage out there in LA, if I'm not mistaken. He also was not practicing yesterday, which means Deron Bland was still running with the ones. Obviously, no Kelvin Joseph, no Jay Lou. You have Deron Bland. Although I think Bland was already your cornerback 4. Needless to say, I wonder if Jordan Lewis could run into a Donovan Wilson situation where, hey, Dono got hurt week 1. J-Rock came in there and just took that starting job away. Now, Jay Lou got a little bit more trust with this staff and with this organization than Donovan Wilson did. But nonetheless, man, if this young buck Deron Bland does get week 1 action and shows out, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think that Jay Lou will still play in week 1, though. If I had to guess, again, we're just guessing at this moment. Next week is the real stuff. Next week, we'll get the practice reports, the injury reports. We'll get the questionable, doubtful, out. We'll get all of that come Thursday, Friday of the week, which we'll keep y'all up to date with. Quick number change also happened yesterday. Kevontae Turpin changed his number from 2 to, are you ready? To number 9. there's a group of Cowboys fans who number 9 is sacred. Number 9 is sacred. It's a how dare you. How dare you, sir? But I think number 9 it's fine. You know, I don't look at it as sacred. Hell, who wore number? It was Jalen Smith. He wore number 9 last year. A lot of people didn't like that either. But I think it's going to be interesting to see number 9 running around as a wide receiver. It really is. It's going to be weird. Very weird. But can't wait to see it. I think Kevontae Turpin is going to be a good gadget / big play / return man specialist for the Cowboys. And then finally, the Cowboys added their final piece to the practice squad by signing center / guard Dakota Shepley, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks, by way of the Jets as an undrafted free agent. And then he went to the CFL. After that, he was signed by the Niners, played a few games before being waived, and picked up by the Seahawks, where he was cut. And now the Cowboys picked him up. Here's what our trusted O-line guru, Big Duke, had to say about Dakota Shepley, I'm sorry. He said Shepley can play center or guard. Very athletic, plays with an edge. I think we see him on the 53 when he gets the playbook down. That might be more of a bolder take there at the end because of roster gymnastics. You're not carrying 3 centers or 3 interior swing guys. So that means somebody got to get cut. Speaking of which, since they signed Shepley, also running back Kadri Olesen from the Falcons, their roster's full. The practice squad is full. The roster is full, which means somebody has to get cut, whether it be a practice squad guy or whether it be a guy on the 53-man roster, which if we swing this all the way back to Peters, no longer can we sneak Peters on the practice squad for a couple dollars and then bring him up when he's ready, Cowboys Nation. So, quick Peters update from everything I've kind of seen early on in all of this. There's no word on a yes or a no. It's still a TBD. They're still figuring things out. If I had to guess, though, I would say Jason Peters is probably channeling his inner Fat Joe.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
It's not. It's not. My guess is he's like, listen, y'all need a tackle. And y'all need to tackle right now. See, the time frame is a bit different, too. If this happened July, June, whatever, right? A little bit different story. We are a mere 9 days away from week 1. And there, whether you want to admit this or not, there are questions with the depth at tackle. Some can argue there's questions with the starter at tackle in regards to the rookie. But if they're going to roll with him, they're going to roll with him. I'll stand behind it. But me personally, I would love to see him paired with the Jason Peters. So I think Jason Peters is probably going to Stephen Jones. And, hey, man, listen, I know I played for some fried chicken last year. But I did that because I was just going to help out young buck Tevin Jenkins. And then he got hurt. And then they hollered at me in the middle of the training camp. And I said, oh, yeah, I'll go play a couple games for him. I think he's looking at this as, hey, I can play 2-3 months with this team, and I'm not trying to do it for $1 million. Now, how much is that? I don't know. I don't know what a 10-game left tackle starter money is going to cost. I still can't see it being a lot. He's 40. He's not a long-term solution. I don't think it's anything crazy. Besides, I think he has to know, and his agents have to know, he's dealing with Stephen Jones. Right? Stephen Jones has a reputation around the NFL that he's not going to pay an absurd amount of money which absurd to him could be $5 million, $4 million, $3 million. That could be absurd to him. I'm not paying you $4 million for 10 games, maybe at 40. So it's still a wait and see approach right now with Jason Peters. I haven't heard anything else. If anybody knows anything, you let me know. If it drops in the middle of the show, go ahead and drop the update. We'll get I still need to get my breaking news button, but we'll break the news. But right now, I don't see anything with Jason Peters right now in regards to he's signing or not signing. They're just in that stage. They're probably talking, trying to figure things out. Big Surge, listen, you ain't got to tell me. He says $20 million in cap space, too cheap for $4 million. What the hell? I'm going to tell you what's probably happening, though. And somebody mentioned right there incentives. I think it's definitely that. It's probably Steven trying to get it on the low end. But if you play X amount of snaps, if you do this, do that, and maybe even his people, if I do this and do that, I get X amount of dollars. That's negotiations is happening right now. From a fan standpoint, if I put my fan hat on right quick, yeah, I'm a little impatient. I want this to get done fast, but then I have to understand these things can take time. We'll get into the weekend probably by the end of the day. If not tomorrow, we'll hear something. We'll hear something, man. Big Sir said it can't close. We don't know just yet. We don't know just yet. Who is this? I'm Jason Peters. That's the YouTube name. He says, and my former team just had their tackle get hurt. You want me, Jerry? Pay up. So if I'm not mistaken, Andre Dillard messed his forearm up. But Andre Dillard's the backup to Maliata, right? So I guess he could be like, hey, man, let me go play with the Eagles again. I like their team. I get back in there with, the team I won a Super Bowl with to be a backup, sure. Or be a starter over here. Go play my former team. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Hey, you're talking about McGriddles, man. All right, look, I don't want to get too far into Jason Peters. I want to bring this thing back to the practice squad because we never got a real good chance to talk about the practice squad yesterday. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on those who have come back to the team and those who didn't. This is the Dallas Cowboys practice squad. We'll go down here. We'll do it one by one. Some of these guys will require a little bit more in-depth speaking. Some of them not. And right off the bat, you see two quarterbacks on the practice squad. Again, I don't follow other teams. When I say I don't follow other teams, I don't follow them as intently as this. So I don't know how often you see two quarterbacks on the roster, on the practice squad, and one on the main roster. And I tried to get Michael Gelkin to kind of spill the beans if he knew about the Cowboys doing some quarterback gymnastics throughout the season. And, based off of what I heard, and if you missed that interview, guys, go check that out. I should pull it. I might do that today for y'all. My bad. Go listen to that, man. Michael Gelkin was fantastic yesterday on the show here. But he kind of insinuated, hey, Dallas realistically could do quarterback gymnastics for a few weeks. They could roll with Dak Prescott on the 53, call up Cooper Rush. They got a chance to do it 3 times. By the way, for those who don't know, Cooper Rush is the quarterback too. Probably news I should have started off the show with yesterday or today. But it's been confirmed he is the quarterback too. But I just find that interesting. If anybody knows in here about any other team that has 2 quarterbacks on the practice squad, let me know. But nonetheless, you'll get probably Rush called up week 1, and then they'll figure it out from there. Let me see what you got to say about that one real quick before I move forward. Yeah, this is the picture actually is not. I didn't take any picture. This is Michael Gelkin and those who took a picture of the actual sheet of the practice squad. Professor O, what you missed? Nothing, I don't think, man. I don't think you missed anything, big dog. All right, Dontario Drummond. I believe it was Drummond or Freifogel if Freifogel didn't get hurt, but Freifogel got hurt, and Drummond started to do some good things in camp. When I say good things, I mean just being there, right? Being around and being able to catch balls from Greer and Cooper Rush and sometimes Dak, and then getting into the games and all you got to do this offseason, this preseason is catch a damn ball, because these wide receivers weren't getting a lot of opportunities. So Drummond proved himself in that instance, and Dallas likes their guys. Of the 17 players on their practice squad, 15 of them are guys that they had throughout the roster or throughout the offseason, and that's probably the norm. But I would have loved to see or to know what other wide receivers or running backs or whatever position, what those guys look like, and if Drummonds of the worlds and the Brandon Smith of the worlds, speaking of wide receivers, were indeed better. But sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's about being comfortable with said player because he was there. Kicker Brett Maher, again, very weird. No kicker on the main roster, but because of the practice squad loopholes, you can call him up 3 different times before you have to put him on the main roster. I would imagine, though, Brett Maher will be on the main roster at some point. Has to be. Kadri Olesen is the running back from the Falcons we talked about yesterday a little bit. 4-year pro, power style type of back. He's your running back 5 at this moment. So not really much there. Tyler Coyle, and I'll skip Malik real quick, and Wanye Thomas. We like both of these dudes in the preseason and in training camp. Coyle is that super ultra athletic dude, and Wanye, man, they got Wanye listed on here at 6'1", but I thought he was 6'3". So, they be lying in college though. But Wanye had his best preseason game against the Seahawks. So there's that, again, being familiar with the player that you had in the offseason and bringing them back. Tyler Coyle was going on his second season with the team, and Wanye is a rookie. The last part on this left side, Malik Davis, before I get to the other side where there's some interesting names as well. A lot of you guys thought this man wasn't going to last through the waivers, and he did. Malik Davis made it back. Some argue he should be on the active roster. Some argue he's better than Rico. That's fair if you want to do all that, but he's here. That's all that matters. We got both Rico and Malik Davis on this roster. It's something else I found interesting when you have Malik Davis and Kadri Olesen. I don't know if they did this last year, but that's 5 backs. I talked about carrying 4 on the active roster because if you're going to run the ball more, you need to have more backs to protect yourself. Well, they got 5. And they got 3 of them who I think you could look at as more power backs in case an Ezekiel Elliott goes down, talking about, 3 in general. Zeke, Olesen, and Malik Davis. Those 3 guys are guys you can lean more towards with power, whereas we know TP is lightning and Rico's kind of a mixture of a lot of things. I'm not saying Malik is power, but he run hard. So he's back, y'all. We can relax. You gotta get all up in here. 351-999-3787 is the call-in line. You got anything on the practice squad? Let's get to the chat though. Queso52 says they better put Maher on the 53. If I was the Bucks, I would sign Maher next Friday, leaving the boys with no kicker and a day to find one. I mean, that sounds clever, right? But Queso, if you're the Bucks, are you willing to cut somebody that on your 53-man roster to carry a second kicker for 3 weeks just to spite the Cowboys for week 1? Also, they have to reach out to Brett Maher's people in the Cowboys and let them know, hey, we want to sign Brett Maher. And then all it is a simple, okay, we're elevating Brett Maher to the 53-man roster. But yeah, I don't know, so that seems a bit like Madden-ish. The Bucks are going to cut a guy that they just invested time, money, energy into all offseason to spite the Cowboys week 1 to carry 2 kickers for 3 weeks. Seems a bit silly. Where's Brandon Smith, says Nicholas. Well, let's go back to the roster. Go to the right side here. Malik Jefferson comes back. And to me, it came down to Malik Jefferson and Story Jackson. I have no problem with either or. I thought they both had really good off seasons. Malik is been around the league more. he looked more savvy. He looked like the veteran out there. Malik's Story's athletic ability, though, just jumps off the screen, and wish they could have found a way to bring him back, not going to lie to you. Micah Tafua. He was your best edge guy, defensive line guy, whatever, outside of the Dirty Dozen. And don't kill me, old school Cowboy fans. Do not kill me. When I say the Dirty Dozen, I'm talking about those 12 guys that we talked about that are roster locks, whether it be on the team or on the practice squad in regards to Los, which we'll get to later. But Micah stood out the most in camp and preseason of those extra dudes. Then you got Isaac Alacone, who doesn't technically take up a spot, but he does. He gets that exemption, so that's why the Cowboys are able to carry 17 instead of 16, if I'm not mistaken. We talked about Dakota Shepley, Alec Lindstrom. So Dakota Shepley and Alec Lindstrom, let me talk to y'all for a quick second here. Somebody fact check this for me. Shepley is roughly around 300, right? I think he weighed in about 305 when I did my little research coming into the league. I saw somewhere else he was listed at sub 300. Alec Lindstrom, around 300, sub 300. And I know he's not going to play guard at that size. If he is sub 300, he could play at 3, I guess, but sub 3, no. So if he's going to be a center, and Alec Lindstrom is a guy that you look at as a center, am I reading into this too much? Are we looking to go a different way at the center position for the future? Not necessarily for right this second, but for the future. I could be looking into this too much because Will McClay came out and said, hey, we didn't take Linderbaum because we wanted to get more powerful up front, which is why we took Tyler Smith. But then the draft was over and they signed Alec Lindstrom right away. Preseason's over, they signed Shepley, who, anybody got a size? Not a Wikipedia size, by the way, but a size from like, I don't know if the Cowboys even have him on his roster, but NFL, if anybody has it. But if he's 315, then I take this back a little bit. But I thought he measured in about 305 coming into the league. And I saw somewhere it was like sub 3. I could be wrong though. But anyway, I'm kind of looking into this a little bit too hard. Put my magnifying glass on here. I'm just wondering, are we looking to kind of go a different direction there, man? Before we move forward with the rest of the practice squad roster, we got to hit the phone lines, which, of course, are presented by the Pulse of the Nation, presented by the Cochran Firm. Since 2005, Brian Pope and Larry Taylor have been heading the Cochran Firm and serving the DFW area community and fighting for the DFW area community, handling the most challenging civil cases involving personal injury, wrongful death, fraud, truck, automobile accidents. It's raining out there, and in Dallas, if something crazy happened, man, hit up Larry and Brian. I'm telling you. What's great about them, not only do they fight for you, but they handle their cases on a contingent fee basis, meaning there's no financial recovery, and they charge no fee. So hit up the Cochran Firm at 1-800-THE-FIRM or schedule your free consultation today at CochranTexas.com. We got a legend on the phone. Short D-O-double-G working on his triple. What's goody?
Hey, Flatwalkers, they put a smile on my face when you tell me everybody wants to do it with the D-A-W, but you already know it's the O-double-G, bro.
Yes,
I feel you. Hey, but anybody with Cochran, you got to support them, bro. You can't have a good enough attorney. Everybody that needs an attorney, you got to go check him out, bro. And you need to get yourself protected. This is why we live in this country. But I got a quick question. I mean, I know you're the number one insider. I know you're Hollywood and all that, bro. But what do you think if we get Peters? You think that Tyler Smith, they're going to right away put our boy Tyler out he's going to be on the bench? Do you think they move him to guard, or do you think they kind of keep Peters and get him acclimated, or you think it's the other way around? What's your thoughts on that?
Here we go. I personally think they'll slide Tyler Smith back into guard. There's some tea leaves out there that's the expectation if they do sign a Jason Peters. is to start him at left tackle at some point and move Tyler Smith back into guard. It's an idea that I am for. So that's where I'm at with it, short dog.
All right, bro. And you think the chances are pretty good of us getting him, or not really?
Well, you just never know when it comes to Stephen Jones. You know what I mean? Like if he's asking for a little bit more money than Stephen is comfortable with, then you won't see Jason here. So it really, I think, comes down to dollars and cents, not cents, because it makes sense to bring him on, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fast, bro. But no, just good looking out. Good to hear you in the morning. I mean, you and Vosh are the best to do it, bro.
Man.
Like I'm telling you, and you guys got it on lock. It's like Dirk and Vaughn. You guys got that, dog. You guys are that combo. But I feel you, and thank you for everything. And everybody needs to jump, like, and subscribe. And I'm with you all the time, bro.
I appreciate you, short. DOGG working on a triple. Let him know.
Yeah. That's right, like that.
Salute. It's a good call, short dog. Appreciate you, dog. Off, that's a bar, Scott. That's his bar, bro. That's his bar. Everything is money with Stephanie, says James Ruff. I'm not sure. Steven. I got you. I get you. Somebody else. Was that you who called? And there was a guy that called in, and I think it's Joey or Jose, so we called him Jose. He calls in and he just flat out calls Stephen Jones Stephanie. I think it's hilarious. We got a new number here. This looks new to me. 5518. What it do?
Yeah, what's up? It's Rob Wells, man. Called up yesterday, man.
Oh, my bad. See, Rob, you was new yesterday, but you ain't new today. They don't let me save you. But what's up, man? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, man. I just tuned in, man. I don't know if you mentioned it earlier in the show, but Andre Dillard, man. Do you see that? He
broke his forearm for the Eagles.
Yeah, you don't think that they're going to try and get Jason Peters now?
So somebody actually brought that up earlier, and I kind of touched on it a little bit. I'll touch on it again. So if I'm not mistaken, Dillard's not their starter, is he? Right? Isn't he the backup to Maliata? I mean, I could be. That's right. I could be wrong. I mean, I didn't look in the chat. Is Dillard their right tackle now, or no? Lane Johnson's their right tackle. So I think Dillard is their backup. So I guess Jason Peters can say, "Yeah, I'll go play for the minimum with my former team, and finish my career with the team I won the Super Bowl with," or he can say, "Hey, I'll come be a starter for the Dallas Cowboys and pass my wisdom along to this Tyler Smith guy who can be kind of like me." So.
Right. All right, yeah, my bad, man. I should have looked that up before I even called, man.
Nah, you good, man. You good.
Yeah, man, that's all I really want to call and say, man. I just want to see what you thought about that. But yeah, man.
Yes, sir. All right, appreciate you, Rob.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, I guess it's always a possibility he goes back and plays for his former team as a backup. But I can't speak for anybody else. But his situation, if it was me, I would want to be a starter. Let's get back to this practice squad roster, finish this out, and move on to the next segment. Avion Collins, a guy everybody thought they wanted to start. Not everybody. I mean, let me use my words right. Some people wanted to see as a starter on this team in Avion Collins. And a lot of people and I agree with this one at the very least, I thought played better than the Josh Ball. The problem is Josh Ball is a draft pick. Collins is not. Collins been around the league a little bit. Josh Ball, I guess to them, has untapped potential. So, but he's back. He's on the practice squad. I think he was on the practice squad last year. The funny thing is, at this moment, as we speak, with no Jason Peters, he's not far off from being called up at some point. I'm going to just leave it at that. Then you got Brandon Smith, who all he did, man, was when he got an opportunity in these preseason games, he made a play. It got to the point where you couldn't deny that, TJ Vasher had the flashes, which is why I don't think you see TJ on this team anymore. He had the flashes. He just couldn't stick. He couldn't do kind of the routine things enough to impress the coaches to stick around, whereas Brandon Smith was. So big shout out to Brandon Smith. He got it from the mud here in Dallas by way of, what was it, y'all? Not Purdue. Was it Colorado? Y'all got me in the chat. I know y'all got me in the chat. UCF. It was one of those black and gold teams. The helmet sticking in my head, the colors, but not the team. But anyway, man, Brandon Smith, he's done nothing but continue to work hard. And he deserves to be on this practice squad, in my opinion. Then to round Iowa. So it was black and yellow, not gold. Iowa. Thank you. Sean McEwen and Carlos Watkins rounds out the rest of the practice squad. McEwen, I believed he was going to come back. He had his knee wrapped up. I don't think anybody was going to pick him up. Boom, got him back. I think he'll be ready to go in a few weeks if they want to roll with 4. And then you got Carlos Watkins, who, again, another dude that I thought would be one of those veteran cuts, knock on the door. Hey, man, we got to cut you because Ridgeway, 5th round pick. We ain't giving up on our picks, which they shouldn't give up on that pick. We got to get him on this roster, and then maybe we can play around with it. What I love now about the practice squad situation is you can call up these guys at any given moment without using a roster spot, meaning cutting somebody. You can just call them up, and then they go back down 3 different times in the season. So the Dallas Cowboys probably use this better than anybody in the league, and I'm just saying that because I only look at the Cowboys, but they use it very well. That's all I'm going to say about it. They did it a lot with Hamilton last year with the injuries going on the front line. None of the Cowboys players released were picked up by, Big Sarge. We were bringing that up earlier. Professor O with his fun stat. Hold on. Do I still got it? Or is it going to mess up on me? Professor O with his obscure stat of the week. We got to bring that back. Says if Brandon Smith catches a pass this year, he'll be the first Iowa wide receiver to catch a pass in over 15 years. What? That's crazy. That is an obscure stat. It ain't fun for Iowa. Keith said Collins is not a draft pick. Add the detail. Keith, you're hard of hearing, brother. We did say that. We said Josh Ball's the draft pick. Collins has not been around the league and all that good stuff. All right, man, let's jump back into the phone lines. 484, my Reading brother. How you doing, man?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Okay. Listen, I just want to say, do you think Mr. Dollar Store is going to mess up the contract with Peterson? Because Stephen Jones, he just is a penny pitcher. I mean, we need Peterson on that line. I hope that he makes that deal, because if we don't get him, we need somebody to replace Tyron that can really help us. Because like you were saying the other day, if we go out there with Josh Ball, poor Dak Prescott, he's going to be in trouble. I just hope that we do the right thing. That's all I got for today. Like always, God bless you and your family. God bless this show, and hope we do the right thing. Okay? Have a good one.
Appreciate you, big dog. So he says, will Stephen Jones mess up this? I mean, it's possible. I'm not going to go out there and say he will, but I mean, history shows that he is a penny pincher, right? He is a penny pincher, and a 40-year-old guy, ain't no way in hell Stephen is trying to pay all that money for a 40-year-old. When I say all that money, I don't know what that is, but a lot of money for a 40-year-old player, period. We could have Cooper Rush as our starting quarterback, no Dak Prescott, Tom Brady a free agent, and Tom says, I want to come play for Dallas. Well, we got $6 million for you, Tom Brady, because he's 40 years old, et cetera, et cetera. I could see that being a thing. So yeah, it's definitely a reasonable concern that Stephen Jones just may say no, and some people may be with it. Some people don't want Jason Peters. I look at it this way: What do you got to lose to sign a Jason Peters? I don't think you have anything to lose. 563. What it is, what it do?
What up, Steele? This is Spartan Mike. How's it going, bro?
Spartan Mike?
That is it.
I love that name. Spartan Mike. What's good?
Straight out of Iowa. Well, Texas originally. Here's one thing I wanted to bring up that I'll be honest, as a lifelong, and I'm from Denton, Texas originally, as a lifelong Cowboys fan, the one thing I'm going to admit, we do have some of the most one-sided minded fans in the world. And it's true. And here's my point. I understand we didn't spend a lot of money, right? That's a fact. Is our team better? No, it's not. But at the same time, we also have to start doing something we've never done. Let some of these young people develop the correct way under correct coaching. Now, I'm not saying McCarthy's the one, but what I am saying, do I agree with everything Stephen Jones does? The answer is no, at all. I think he's way too cheap. I think he fumbles stuff. That's it. But as far as going out in the beginning and signing all these people, I mean, did we really want to have a MAC contract? Did we really want to have some of these monster contracts? I mean, we understood. Is there gun shy? Yeah, we got Zeke right now. All right. Do we wish we could get out of that contract? 100%. But the question is the same fans that are talking about this, what would they have done if Dallas wouldn't have signed Zeke? They'd have tried to burn Dallas down.
Oh.
You know, what I'm saying is there's two sides to every spectrum.
Sure.
Now, as far as there's both sides, they're not realizing every time I hear, and I listen to your show all the time. I normally don't call in because I'm in real estate and I'm busy. But the one thing that I'm pointing out that is going unseen, I do agree with the Peters 100%. Does Josh Ball see the field? Hell no. We all know what's going to happen. McGovern's going to go to guard and Tyler's going to get pushed out. If not, that's just what's going to happen. If we think anything else, we're trying to create gossip in the community, and that's all we're doing. Ball's never going to see the field. Now, should they sign Peters? Yes. Should they? Why? Because let's be honest, what did he give up, like 3 sacks last year and 2 penalties? I believe that's right. We didn't even have anything like that on our entire offensive line, and at 40, that would lead the pack. And we're all worried about losing, Smith. Yeah, he was great, but the key is he's not the same player, and we haven't had him all year. So we need to quit pretending like he was a sure thing. He never is.
Yeah, we definitely weren't pretending that, right? I think everybody knew that Tyron was going to miss, which is why we kept saying, hey, we got to get somebody in here. And they waited too long. And you talked about how Josh Ball's not going to see the field. Well, you get an injury to your left tackle. Guess who's next up, brother? Spartan Mike.
I actually think he gets passed up. I forget his name.
Collins.
Is it Wozniak? I can't think of his name.
Well, let's go.
Loretsko, I think he actually ends up, I think they would flip Steele to left tackle. Let's go at right field personally.
Okay.
I mean, not right field, but right tackle.
I got you.
I think that just makes more sense. For one, he's just a more solid player. No, he's not great, but he doesn't have to be great. He just got to protect. That's it. He's a mauler. I mean, as far as it goes, we know our offensive line, we're in trouble, but I think we're in a lot better situation than we are. And the other thing, even at receiver, I think, no, we're not as talented.
We got to land it, Spartan Mike. We got to land it, good brother.
Gotcha. Yep. All right. Well, here, I appreciate it. I'll let you go.
Appreciate you, Spartan Mike. Appreciate you, man. We was about to get into the territory of going through the whole entire roster. And I'm trying to practice getting these calls right. But you was on fire, Spartan Mike. I appreciate your call there. Yeah, man. Listen. He brought up an interesting point in regards to Ball getting leaped. Josh Ball getting leaped for Let's-Go by putting Let's-Go at right, Steele at left. A little bit more moving around that I'd like. But Let's-Go showed some things, man. He showed some things in that one preseason game that is encouraging for the future. I don't know if I'm ready just quite yet, man. I don't know if I'm ready, man. Y'all crazy in there. James, a truck driver, which sounds like he is on the road, so drive safe, man. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, Scott? Actually, I'm talking to you through my car. I'm on the way home.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Hey, check this out, right? You know, Super Bowl windows, they open and close, and they don't stay open for long. If you look at the way that this team was built last year, it was a pleasant surprise at how the defense came about. And we had the offense, we just didn't have the coordinator to see us through all the way. So fast forward to this year, we definitely got a Super Bowl defense, but look at what happened to the offense with the receivers and with the line. So you would think that as a GM, if you know that the Super Bowl window is short, you would try to take advantage of that and do everything that you can do in order to get to the promised land. But instead, you got these two guys, Jerry and Steven, they're not taking advantage of the window. What they're doing is they're trying to save money. And that's all I got to say, and I'll take it off the air, bro.
Appreciate you, James. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's 100% him, them trying to obviously save money. They're not shy about that, right? They've admitted to that being the case for the most part. But hey, man, we at that point now where season is about to start. We got to figure out how to get through it. I told y'all this a while ago. Yeah, I'm you know me, I'm going to tell you how I feel about the approach that we have about this situation. But once we get to a certain part, as our guy likes to say, man,
It is what it is. It is what it is.
it is what it is. All right, man, before we move on to the second part, because we talked about a Super Bowl defense, which, man, perfect segue, James. Appreciate you. We're going to get to these Micah Parsons clips here in a second. But I want to bring up the fan focus comment of the day right now, and it comes from Jennifer Yelvington on YouTube. It says, Will McClay is a pretty good GM. The Cowboys have the second most drafted player still playing in the league right now, behind only Baltimore, 108 to 103. There's a lot to pack in there, Jennifer. Will McClay, and let me fix it for you, is a pretty good player personnel / scout man. I don't think he's the GM. I feel like I always got to try to illustrate this to people. General managers have the ability to sign, trade, cut, whatever. Will McClay doesn't have that ability. And I don't mean to, and if he ever listens to this, I'm joking when I say Will McClay is essentially given, I don't want to even say the grocery list, but he's given, hey, this is the meal we want to cook. Go to the grocery store and pick out the ingredients you think is best with this budget. I ain't trying to spend more than $100. Now, listen, I got to make a 4-course gourmet meal. I'm only giving you $100, Will. Go to the grocery store. I don't give a damn what the ingredients are. Just make sure that you can piece it all together and we make a good 4-course meal. I think that's what Will McClay is given the task of right now. And before people start saying, oh, you're disrespectful. I'm not disrespecting Will. I'm just playing around. Will McClay is fantastic at what he does. I just don't think he's given the same amount of power as a true general manager because Dallas compartmentalizes everything. Will McClay and the scouts do the scouting and they pick the players that the general manager that signs the checks and Stephen Jones says, yeah, we'll sign XYZ only if it fits XYZ. We got a number. You can't hit over that. So no need to look at this type of player. So, but good comment though, Jennifer, because you're right. When it comes to the actual drafting and whatnot, he does a damn good job. So that was the fan focus comment of the morning presented by Boston Scientific. Did you know that diabetes, heart disease, and prostate cancer procedures can contribute to ED? Many men aren't aware of this and all of the treatment options that a board-certified urologist can offer. Understand your options and learn where you can find an ED specialist in your area to help. Visit edcure.org to get the facts and find a urologist who can offer treatments when other options do not work. Again, that's edcure.org, sponsored by Boston Scientific.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Watch yourself, Toxic. Watch yourself. We got a super chat, man. Sully says, Spartan Mike landed that plane Denzel style, the movie Flight. Spartan Mike was on fire. I hated to land the plane there, Spartan, but I'm practicing here, man. It's preseason for me. You can't do the 5-minute calls no more, y'all. We got to try to land these things. And now listen, if you would have allowed me to kind of respond, we could have been went back and forth, but Spartan Mike was like, well, Scott, who do you think is going to be the left tackle? It's going to be Tyler Smith. We're going to put McGovern. Oh, all right. Keep going. Yeah, just give me a chance to answer the question before you answer your own question. That's all. That's all, Spartan. But great call, man. Good energy. Ooh. See, I asked Modius, I don't want to call Will McClay an errand boy. I see what you're saying, and Danny Savage knows I said Uber Eats. You remember that episode when I was like, yeah, Will McClay's Uber Eats driver, and people was getting all up in arms. He's not quite the errand boy. That's doing a disservice, but I feel you. I just think that Will McClay is in a way being held back. I think he can be one of the best general managers in the league. I think Will McClay, if given the full ropes, I truly believe he'd have got the Cowboys the Super Bowl. Oh, the other thing the general manager does, he hires the head coach. We know he ain't got nothing to do with that. I digress. He ain't the GM, AJ. I'm telling you. I'm not just out here saying this. I'm not. Go look up what GM duties do. And then come back and tell me if he's doing that. He's not. He's a great scout. And he's bringing the GM that signs the checks, that gives the authority to trade, to sign, to cut. He's giving him those guys that he's asking for. He doesn't have that power, unfortunately. Just because you're getting GM pay don't mean you GM. That don't mean nothing. That means nothing. That means you are so good at what you do. We don't want to lose you. So we're going to pay you like XYZ. Will McClay got the best job, man. The best. Hey, when it works, that's on me, baby. When it don't, hey, man, I did what they told me. What y'all want me to do? I ain't hired a coach. I ain't bring Mike Nolan in here. I ain't bring McCarthy. I ain't bring Jason Garrett. You know? I didn't turn down Bobby. I didn't do all that. And I digress. You know what I mean? 737. What it is, what it do?
What up? It's your boy Dak Not Done Yet.
Dak Not Done. What's goody, man?
Hey, what up? Yeah, I just had something to say about, I know everybody wants all these draft picks. They want us to draft, get better, but I don't know if you know, but what's the one team that draft more than anybody else over like the last, 10 years?
That draft better?
Who draft? Who actually went up there and got draft picks? You know what I'm saying? And that was, not draft picks, but free agents. And that was Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh.
They spent over $1 billion in draft picks, and all that got them.
You mean free agents? In free agents?
Yeah.
and all they got them is the you know what I'm saying, they lost more than anybody else. So I kind of understand why they're kind of calm and trying to get these players in. I try to draft everybody.
Mm.
So I just want to know what you think about that, and you know what I'm saying, and why we're not going out getting all these players like all these other teams are doing.
I saw that statistic yesterday, Dak not done yet. I did, and I had a feeling that Cowboy fans would lean into that, which that's what we do when we're trying to talk ourselves into, this or that. I totally get that. But that is an extremism. And I often say during I'm not sure when you arrived here on the channel, right? But I often say during the offseason and free agency, hey, I'm not asking this team to go out and do what the Giants did in one offseason where they spent over $200 million in free agency. That is not what I'm saying. There does have to be a healthy balance between draft, relying on the draft, free agency, and the trade market. I firmly believe those are three pillars into team building. It's not just one, but we operate around one, which makes things much more difficult. Not saying it's impossible to win that way, right? It's not impossible. It's just so much harder when this pillar is holding up the rest of the crib. And you know what I mean? It's in the middle and trying to balance all this. One wrong move and this thing could fall over, right? One wrong move or non-move and you missed an opportunity. Whereas, and I hate to do this to y'all, well, when you go back and you look at what the Rams, I know y'all hate that, but it is what it is. The Rams were having a solid season, and in the middle of the year, they said, we ain't done. Go get me Odell Beckham, and we'll pay him crypto. Go get me Von Miller, because we're trying to go all in and win a ring. So, and I hate to do that to y'all and always be like, oh, the Rams. But I'm just saying that type of aggressiveness, just a little bit of that, sprinkle a little bit of that into what the Cowboys do, man. I think we'd be more successful. Does it guarantee a Super Bowl? Nah. But I think we'd have more than 3 playoff wins in 27 years or whatever it's been.
Facts. All right, man, that's all I had to say. I was just kind of curious about that. I'm going to continue to watch the show. You know, I watch the show every day. Dak not done yet out.
Dak not done yet out. Let me tell you, Dak does say that in text messaging too. He hit me up in DM. Dak not done yet out. So, y'all have heard me say this. Those who have been here, and there's a lot of new people here. So if you haven't, I'll say this, when it's brought up. But I've kind of been moving on towards let's figure out this season, right? But next offseason, we'll be right back here. Not surprised that Dallas is not, super active and free. That's not what they do. It's harder. That's all I'm saying. It is extremely hard to do it this way and this way only. It's hard, man. But look, let's talk about that defense real quick. I'll get back to the phones, but let's talk about that defense that was it James, the truck driver, was talking about earlier. The potential of that thing to be top tier, and I do think it can be top tier. Micah Parsons. Let me turn this off real quick because y'all got to hear Micah Parsons. Had a lot to say yesterday actually. Now, y'all remember a week or two ago, I was like, man, you could tell Micah he's ready. He's tired. He's tired of this playing against his guys. He's tired of listening to people talk about week one. He's ready to go out here and hit somebody. This is Micah Parsons briefly saying, hey, man, I'm tired of facing these dudes over on the other side of me. I want to go play somebody I don't like.
I'm tired of going against these guys. I'm ready to go into some people I don't like. You know what I'm saying? So, literally,
that's what he said. All right, let's get to some more Micah Parsons clip. But I love it that he's just ready to go hit somebody. All right, Micah. So they asked him about the offense and hey, man, you lost a lot of these players. What you got to say about that? Micah said, I don't give a damn about the offense. Take a listen.
To be honest, the offense has nothing to do with us, and whoever lost is lost. We can only focus on who's in the room. I don't care if the offense scores 0 points. I know we can score on defense. I believe that's how good we are. So if there's games we got to win the game, that's what we got to do.
Say that again real quick, Micah. Say that one more again.
I believe that's how good we are. So if there's games we got to win the game, that's what we got to do.
That's what we got to do. He said, I don't care if the offense scores 0 points.
If the offense scores 0 points, I know.
All right, Micah. I said, man, what's the difference with week 1 playing Tom Brady last year versus this year, Micah Parsons? And this is what he had to say about it.
I mean, everything's completely different. The mindset's different. The body's different. I think how
my body different. I move different, B.
Approach the game is different. You know, I don't think I'm facing the same Tom Brady, and he's not going to face the same Micah Parsons. So it's going to be a battle. It's not the same defense we had last year either. So either way, look at it. Everything's changed. We still got to go out there and play football on Sunday, though.
He's absolutely not lying. That's one of the main things we talked about throughout the offseason going into week 1. Once we found out the Cowboys were playing Tampa Bay week 1, immediately I said, oh, this is a completely different defense. Completely different. J-Rock is your guy now. Micah is not dropping back no 29 times. Keanu Neal ain't about to be out there. Jalen Smith ain't about to be out there. Year 2 in Dan Quinn. I'm not going to play this part, but in the interview, he talked about how, oh, man, you know, we're way more comfortable than we were last year going into this season. So get ready for Micah to be dropping forward, as Vaj say, 29 times, not back. He's coming for Brady, man. Real rap. Also, about a week 1 thing, last year being the worst game of his career, of the season, and kind of his mindset about playing anybody that lines up in front of him.
You know, I would say that was probably my worst game last year. Obviously, I was young. I just kind of just know the game a little bit. I think each year you just learn the game a little bit more, understand situations, the conditioning aspect, just the full all-around football aspect. So to go against him, you know, we thought he was gone, but now he's back. So, you know, to go against him again gives me a second op to try to get a win under my belt.
Is there something about going against him that brings out a charge in you or in players? Does it when it's a guy like that?
Man, everybody bring out a charge in me. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's not anybody out there that I'm not trying to kill.
Oh my God. I don't know, man. Micah just, I don't have the words no more. All right. Just listen and that's it. I'm not going to sit here and try to hype you up about Micah. Micah can do that by himself naturally. Naturally. I'm just ready for week 1. Built different, Maisha. Built different. He did it so they asked him a question about, hey man, you know, how are you able to do kind of multitude of different things? And he reverted it back to the love of football, just the love of playing sports. He was like, listen, when I was young, I just loved the game. So what I do is I try to find a way to stay on the field. Basically stating the reason why I'm so good at so many different things is because I work my ass off to be good at them so they don't take me off the goddamn field. And you can't take this man off the field unless he's tired. That's about it. So if you do have the ability to go back on YouTube or if you want to go watch the coaches film, the all 22, whatever, how you want to do it, just go back and watch how the Cowboys played Tom Brady last year. More importantly, how they used Micah Parsons last year. Go watch. I think it'll be completely different. So, bold prediction or predictions for Micah Parsons. Give me your boldest predictions, and I'm not saying craziest. I'm not saying because I kind of wanted to be a little bit more realistic. But hey, man, if you want to go Super Bowl, go Super Bowl. What is your bold predictions statistically for Micah Parsons in year 2? Defensive Player of the Year. Listen, you already know me. I feel like that's the thing. Like, I feel like he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. But I'm talking about statistically. Last year, he was the unanimous Defensive Rookie of the Year. Had 84 tackles, 64 solo, 20 tackles for loss, 13 sacks. 30 QB hits from a linebacker position is ridiculous. And 3 forced fumbles. Bold predictions for Micah Parsons. I have my bold prediction stat line. Maybe if I say it, it might not seem as crazy as you think. But I think this is a Defensive Player of the Year stat line. I'll give it to y'all in a second. But I want to hear, what is your bold prediction stat line for the young Lion? Micah Parsons. Woo, Adrian, that's a bold prediction right there. 12 total turnovers forced from Micah Parsons. My goodness. Combined with 12 sacks. All right. Captain says 15 to 17 sacks. Come on, Captain. I'm looking for a little bit more bolder. I'm bolder than that. Ooh, Benjamin, you're kind of on my. Ben said 14 sacks, 3 picks, 105 tackles, 2 forced fumbles. Shaq Edwards, the Vikings fan, salute, bro. 15 sacks, 2 picks, 16 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles, 90 tackles. C. Burleson's got 18 sacks, 2 picks, 92, and 3 forced fumbles. Now, this is bold. This is a one-man wrecking crew, literally. Tyson88 says 150 tackles, 16 sacks, and 5 forced fumbles. My goodness. Samuel Rowe, why you got to come in here with that, man? Micah's going to date Kim Kardashian. Come on, fam. You just trying to wish bad things on the Cowboys with that one. The Lunatic says Micah will have 2 pick sixes and 2 fumble recoveries for touchdowns. Okay. All right. That's bold. Bold prediction. Ron. Micah will be held on every play and the refs will call less than 3 of them all year. You know, I kind of like it. They're definitely going to not call enough holdings. CT Matt had 20 sacks, 70 pressures, 30 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, 90 tackles, 75 solo. Shoot, y'all, I'm making my bold prediction look a little bit too reasonable. I feel like I got to go a little bit higher on some of these things. 22 to 23 sacks, says Danny. So basically breaking the sack record. 6 to midnight. Swain are all saying he's going to break the sack record. That's a fair bold prediction. Maisha has 20 sacks. Toxic has 80 tackles, 14 sacks, 5 forced, 2 recovered, 2 picks. First team All-Pro Defensive Player of the Year. King Element. Hold tight on that one. I got you, King Element. He says Micah gets a rushing touchdown. Xavier, 18 and a half sacks, 2 picks, 80 solo, 115 total, 5 quarterback. That's bold. That's more bolder than I think I did here. All right, here's my bold prediction, which shit, I don't even think it's bold enough. I got Micah Parsons at 110 tackles, 17 sacks, 3 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles. And this is the part that's like might be seem low on the low end. I got 2 total touchdowns, one of them being on offense. So my stat line, once again, 115 tackles, 17 sacks, 3 picks, 5 forced fumbles, 2 touchdowns total, 1 on offense. Now, I don't know if that's attainable, but man, you can never put nothing past Micah Parsons. And here's the reason why. I give you a reason. It's a bold prediction, so you don't really need a reason. Can Micah get 20 to 30 more tackles? I do. I think he can. The hardest part of all this, I don't even think are the picks. I don't think it's the forced fumbles, because he had 3 forced fumbles last year, and you're asking him to get 2 more on 4 more sacks. I think it's possible. I think the hardest thing to get is going to be potentially the tackles of all these things. Now think about it. Because if he's rushing a little bit more, that could make him not have the ability to be out there to get regular tackles. It's kind of my prevailing thought. Maybe the hardest thing is going to be offense, to be honest with you. You know, he can just not get put out there. That he can't get the touchdown. But yeah, 115, 17 sacks, 3 picks, 5 forced fumbles, and 2 tutties. Micah Parsons is going to have a ridiculous year. Ridiculous year, y'all. I got you, King. I got you. He'll be MVP. Now, that's a bold one, too. A defensive player being the actual MVP. If he has one of these bold prediction years, the really bold ones that we're talking about, I don't know how you can leave him out of the MVP conversation. I don't know. Oh, we got one of those people. Stop jinxing him. Ain't nobody jinxing him. He's just that dude, man. We ain't talking about health. We talking about his play. If you were a fan of, who's a great one? Randy Moss at one point. Tom Brady or whatever. And you went into the season and you're like, man, Tom Brady, 4,500 yards, 45 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Ain't jinxing him. That's what he do. Micah Parsons is a great one, man. Is it early to say it? Maybe. I don't care. You're that type of dude. All right. We're going to finish out these phone lines and then get up out of here. Danny, Macho Man Randy Savage. What you got for us, brother?
Hey, yo. All right. This is how we're going to start this conversation. I would like to see Micah have less tackles and a lot more sacks, because I don't think we drafted him to make tackles. We thought we did.
I was about to say, they literally drafted him to make tackles. Then they stumbled across the pass rush thing.
And we stumbled across the pass rusher. So in my opinion, he has to line up at a rover, that's the old school position for a different line, a different position on every play. So that means you can't game plan against him. So that's the way you got to do it with him. And listen, if he doesn't, I don't even consider it Michael Strahan's record. First of all, I consider it, if you want to go old school,
the Jets,
it's Harvey Martin.
Oh, Harvey Martin. Well, if you want to go further than that, brother, isn't it Deacon Jones?
Probably Deacon Jones, absolutely. Yeah. But in the modern era, it's Mark Gastineau. It's a Shaq Exchange.
Shaq Exchange, the Jets. That's what I thought too.
And I don't even consider Strahan. Eric Williams used to tell him, "Yo, take your beating like a man." So listen, I want Micah to have less tackles, and he can break that record easily. Like you say, the Lion, he's built from a different strain of core. If we can just get one or two more monsters like that on D, if we can get one in each level, I'm hoping Sam Williams can be kind of that guy at defensive end. If we can just get one of our one techs to be a straight-up gangster, and we got enough safeties. I mean, we got enough safeties probably for the whole NFC East. You know what I'm trying to say? If we can get one of those at each position, this could be our best defense since 1992. In 1992, our first Super Bowl under Jimmy, we were the number one ranked defense. And the crazy part, and they took it personal. They took it like a chip on their shoulder going to the Super Bowl. They were the number one ranked defense with 0 Pro Bowlers. So they took that personal. And, I just think, we're underestimating Micah. How many sacks did he have last year? 14 or 15?
Who in the hell is underestimating Micah? Are you listening to this show, sir?
I think a lot of other people are, because think about it. Last year, Micah had like 14 sacks. He missed one game with COVID. Then he came back against Arizona. No, I think Arizona was before he missed the COVID game.
No, he
looked like
missed,
he had COVID.
He missed the Eagles game, and then he played with COVID symptoms against the Niners, and you could tell because he was on the sideline with the breathing machine.
But before the Philly game, he looked horrible against Arizona.
He didn't.
He looked like he had COVID against Arizona.
What, Danny?
No, listen. All I'm trying to say is, I think he had COVID for a while. All I'm trying to say is, he didn't know what he was doing, and he still had 14 sacks around there, 14, 15 sacks, and he missed a few games. So now he has another year under his belt, another year to be angry, another year to know what he's doing. Yo, he only played like 16 games at Penn State at outside linebacker. This kid should destroy the sack record. Destroy the sack record. And just a real quick question for tonight when I win this league. I'm old, so I'm having trouble. What do I got the email. I got your email. What do I got to do? I got to sign in. I put my money in like a month ago.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sign in like extra early. And then.
Are you signed in already?
I'm pretty sure. I got your email today.
Okay.
I got your email last night, and I see my screen name. So it's a 12-man league. I guess we're going to find out tonight what the draft order is.
Yeah, because it's just telling me that it just says filled. When I'm looking on here, it doesn't really tell me who filled the spots. But once they're all filled in, you find out immediately. Yeah.
And I donate, and the first day you sent out that email, I put $50 into my account.
I don't know why you did
now
that.
Do I have to? Well, I don't know. 'Cause that's what it said I had to do. I guess I can make. Yo, I don't even have Cash App. I told you, man. I'm like in the old. I was the last guy in the world to text. The last guy in the world with a smartphone.
Let me relax. Let me make you relax a little bit. So they match whatever you put in. So if you put in 50, they're going to give you 50. So now you have 100.
To make other bets and stuff like that.
Right. You could have just put 5 in there and they would have matched. But
I don't know.
yeah,
okay,
our league is.
I'll make that 50.
Our league is. All right, you can talk. Our league is free, so they also put $10 into it so that you can enter the league for free. So just sign in if you already signed in. Just I'm gonna go live around about 6:50, and try to make sure we get everybody else up in there. If not, for those who are listening, if we get to time to draft and we got like 1 or 2 people who are doesn't show up, I'll drop the link in the chat, and if y'all want to join, y'all can join it live, and we'll rock.
Now, just a quick question, and I never understood why, because I've always been in custom leagues, and that's where the Guru name came from, because I won so many championships. But why is a passing TD 4 points?
Oh, brother. Let me tell you something right now. Let me just tell you right now. I am not about to just dive into why these things. That is what Underdog decided to do, good brother. Listen, I like certain things about fantasy too, where it's X amount of points and all that stuff. But this is for fun. This is for free. It's for fun. That's all we're doing. We just competing against each other.
Right.
Hold on, it's for bragging rights.
It's for bragging rights.
Right.
It's for bragging rights and a pizza party and a chicken
exactly.
party.
No, you'll win money. You'll win a jersey that I'm gonna try to get signed. You'll win other little things, but it's a free league, man, for fun. So I'm not about to sit here and go through the point system with you on air during the show.
No, of course. I didn't know that. Like I said, I haven't played fantasy since 2017.
Yeah.
I took a break.
Yeah.
So I'll try my best, and it's basically you said it's like we draft all these players, but they're all in like a pool on the bench, and whoever scores the highest points.
They take those points and they put them in the custom order of how it is: 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, 1 tight end situation.
But now let me ask you a question:
Oh boy,
is there a minimum? Is there a minimum or a maximum?
Danny, send the email. I'll have Nick get back to you, Danny. I can't do this on the show. I feel you, brother. I get it that you have these questions. I just send them in an email, and we'll get back to you in the email. It's not fair to the fans watching right now.
My last question. Are we signing Peters or no?
Oh, I don't have the answer to that one just yet.
Because I'm sure we only offered him about $2 million and like a 20-pack of White Castles.
Yeah.
The way Jebby works. I hope we sign him, because if we take the tight end away from Steele and put him on Tyler.
Stop saying that.
Tyler.
Stop it.
It's going to hurt.
Stop saying taking away the tight end. Danny, go watch the tape. He didn't have a tight end on the side the whole time. But all right, Danny, I got to get going, man.
Great call. Like I said, I'm on my second cup of coffee. I'm looking forward to the draft tonight.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. One of the first times.
You are in.
I'm in the draft, Danny. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good man. All right, looking forward to everybody tonight. Looking forward to the bomb squad too.
Yes, sir.
All right, great call as always. Don't call me sir. I work for a living.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to do that to those who are watching the show. I don't want to go on a 10-minute rant about the minute details of the free league where you can win a lot of money and a free jersey and a free this and a free that. I get it. Just holler at me off air and we'll figure that out, man. It's just for fun, dog. Just for fun. All right. Hate to be. Hey, listen. If you in a league with Danny for real, like a real money league, like you putting in some bread, you best come correct. And I've been to some annoying leagues, man. I've been to some shady, some weird leagues. My uncle, if he listening, he know what I'm talking about. Where I had to be like, hey, listen, dog, this ain't no little measly $25 league. What y'all got going on here? Because that don't make sense. how he get Todd Gurley in 2017 or whatever that year, and you giving up James White. Something ain't right. All right, let's get to the last call of the day. 346. What it do?
How you doing, Will? Yeah, man. Expectations for Micah. I wanted to say, if you're a fan from the outside looking in, and you see some of the best players out there in the league, and in last year we had one of those dudes, man. And it took me a minute to really realize that we had it, but I think we all took a minute. When we were first drafting, people were saying, hey, we need line, we need this, that, and the third, but we ended up with that guy, man, and he's a superstar. So I would say, superstar, bro. An increase of 10 on all of the metrics, except forced fumbles, we'll get that up to an even 10.
Woo!
And sacks.
I like it.
Yeah. I think he's that dangerous, bro. If you look at some of his plays, he was so excited to be making plays. If he would just focus, and I think he will be this year, just focus on his tackling, I'm sure he's strong enough to get a lot more of those balls out of there. That guy's a beast.
I actually think that's more realistic than many may think. So you're saying 94 tackles, 74 solo, 30 tackles for that would be freaking crazy. But I actually seen some linebackers have 27, 30 tackles for loss. 30 tackles for loss, 23 sacks, which will be the record. 40 quarterback hits, and you said what'd you say, 5 or 6 forced fumbles?
I think he wants an even number on those sacks though. Let's say 25. Just a round number like 25 sacks. Gosh. Just because he's an animal like that,
That's probably more realistic. Yeah. I mean, the 25 sacks is crazy, but the 10 more solo and regular tackles, but a lot more sacks is probably more realistic than what I said, because I feel like if he's going to have a ton of sacks, he's likely not going to have a lot of regular tackles because he's rushing the passer.
Think about it too. If Dan Quinn just gets him educated, and I know he can't really pause going towards the quarterback, but if he realizes, hey, they're giving it to the running back, he'll chase him down and get those tackles. So he's fast enough. But on your the subject you had before about free agency, with the Cowboys, it's different, man, because you can't get all the free agents to come in here and really represent the star like it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, you either have to be born a Cowboy, or maybe you were a Cowboy fan when you were young. So you're drafted, or you were a Cowboy fan when you were young. I think that's the only time that the free agents come in here and really represent, because they'll come in and they'll either be out for themselves to get their next contract, or they're just done. So it's with our coaching staff, it's trying to find that balance on, if we're taking free agents, are we strong enough as a coaching staff to get the free agents in here and buy in to what either Kellen or Dan.
I agree with that latter part of that. That's for sure. Like, you have to be able to sell it to the free agents. Now, a lot of the times though,
you know what I mean?
The money will sell it. A lot of the times. And the nature of your team could sell it as well. But I mean, let's be honest. There's players that go play for Jacksonville because they get paid. So it's not always the culture, exactly. But when it comes to veterans, I do think the culture matters a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, if we're bringing them in here and giving them a second check, then by all means, I think that free agent will buy in. But if we're just bringing them in here for a cup of coffee and just get us through till the end of the year, I don't think we get those kind of free agents to come in and give their offer for the Cowboys. So, but fair enough. Man, just back on the Micah subject, I think he's a beast, and I have high projections for him, and I know he does for himself. He's going to be unstoppable.
Hell yeah, he does, man.
And think about it too. Just my last subject. I mean, my last statement is we got that out of Micah coming off of not playing the year before, going through all of his rookie crap that he had to do before. You know what I mean? We have a focused Micah on training, a second-year Micah under Dan Quinn, a Micah that's really driven to be the best player. He's a leader. He feels it. He understands. Man, yeah, I think an increase by 10 on all metrics. We'll round up to 25 on the sacks, and
We're
an
just gonna
even
round
10
it
on
up to
those forced
25
fumbles,
on
man.
the sacks. That's
Just
we can
round
say
it
it
up.
so nonchalantly because he that good, man. Hey, I love it, man. Good call, brother.
Because yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Have a good weekend, man. And that would do it for today's Pulse of the Nation hotline presented by the Cochran Firm. Hit them up, 1-800-THE-FIRM, or visit CochranTexas.com. What was I listening to? I think it was 105 through the Fan after the Seahawks game. So what I don't want to get like is what they do on their, after their games with Ari and Brian. Shout out to them. You can call in. But if you start rambling, this is going to happen. Hey, Brian. Hey, Ari. I love the game. And now we're about 30 seconds in. And I also think that they'll cut you off. And Ari would just keep on talking. Yeah, Brian, well, so I don't want to get that way, So we're practicing, man. We got one more week to practice this thing until we get to the regular season, because these phone lines are gonna be crazy. And y'all know me, I love to talk to y'all. So make sure when you're calling in, you got something interesting to say and that we can talk about. I don't got a problem with that. Just be aware that there are other people that want to come through. But that'll do it, man, for the Pulse of the Nation hotline. Let's get back to the chat as we wrap up this show. Good time today. Good time. L Avon 84. I'm just call you L. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. L Avon. Sincere question. If you were born after 96, what possessed you to become a Dallas Cowboy fan? Well, I'm sure that's for the chat because I can't give you that answer. I can give you an answer why I became one. I was born into a Cowboy household. Because a lot of people like to say, well, how were you a fan of XYZ team when you weren't born in that city? Like, fandom is, you got to be born in that city. But I was born into a Cowboys household, man. Like King Element said, just born into it. And could I have been a bandwagon jumper? Sure. But once, I'm a sports kid. I love sports. My passion is real. So once you get attached to that team, ain't no going anywhere else. You know what I mean? Over the last 27 years, Toxic says, what would you say is Dallas Cowboys' greatest accomplishment? Didn't they ask Stephen Jones this question? And he said something like, the stadium is one of our greatest accomplishments in the last few decades. And I think people were looking around like, are you serious? And then I think he caught himself and was like, oh, well, you know what we mean. The stadium, Toxic, the greatest accomplishment in the last 27 years. I don't know, bro. I don't even know. Special said, y'all know Steven is not signing Peters. That was damage control because the nation not feeling the Smith and McGovern duo. Steven is going to say, at least we tried. Special K, you know something we don't know, man? Because I'm really, y'all know me, I like to keep things in the middle, but I'm very more optimistic on this side of things with Jason Peters. I feel like how do you mess this up? You know what I mean? Like, this just makes too much sense to bring in Jason Peters. It makes too much sense. McGovern should have never been, he was never going to be a starter anyway, which I didn't think he was going to be. He was your backup anyway. So what's wrong with putting him back as a backup? Damn, I hope they sign this man. Shout out to Bob Clayton. I pronounce these names so terribly.
Super chat.
$10 donation. Appreciate it, Bob. Appreciate all the donations. In fact, I might have missed some. So let me go ahead and go find these donations if we have any before I leave. Go supers. Boom. Bam. Nah, I didn't. I got them all. I got Jay Versix. I got Sully's. All right, we're good, man. We're good. We're good to go. All right, a couple more questions while I got y'all locked. Anthony says, the greatest accomplishment we had as a team is letting DeMarcus Ware go to the Broncos to win a Super Bowl. Damn. Professor O. Peters will be signed today. Source? Just trust me, bro. I sure as hell hope so, bro. I sure as hell hope so. All right, before I get up out of here, one last time. We will be hosting, or I will be hosting, the Fantasy Football Best Ball Draft tonight, 7 p.m. Central. It will be aired live. Now, we already have our guys set, our guys and gals, if there's a gal in there, I don't know. But we have our players set, and so that's closed, but it doesn't mean you can't still use our promo code to sign up to get your deposit matched. So all you got to do is head on over to Underdog Fantasy and use the promo code ATOZ, and they will match anything up to $100. You can still do your drafting and enter different Best Ball Mania drafts, or you can just, I shouldn't use the term bet, that's not what we're saying, but you can also do different games with chances to win prizes at Underdog Fantasy. We will be doing a pick'em this month during Game Day Live. By the way, our pregame show is sponsored by Underdog. So there will be pick'ems during the season. That'll be fun. On Fridays, I will give you our pick'ems, and then Sundays, we will reveal them on the show. So we got a lot of good, cool, fun things lined up for this year. I ain't even mean to press that one, but
Super Chat.
Ghostface Thriller, appreciate you for the donation. He says, have a great weekend, brother. Be safe. You guys and gals as well. Make sure you have a good, fun, fruitful, long, whatever holiday weekend. For some, won't be here on Monday. Let y'all know that now. Maybe I'll drop a video though. Y'all ain't shit, man. Jay says, Sky, tell me how it was marching for Selma. Oh, come on, Toxic. Y'all in here just...
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Y'all stay cooking me in this chat. Sky was there when the Great Wall was built. I mean, come on, man. Sky invented the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. Troy Moore, Peter Smith, Biotish, Martin Steele, fullback McGovern. Let's go. What is that? Make sure my button was right, man. Make sure my button was right. So yeah, we out of here, man. Later today, join me if y'all want to just have some fun with the fantasy football draft. Won't be doing too much. I mean, if Peter's assigned, maybe we'll talk a little Peters. I don't know. We'll see. Jason P. Good. I'm pressing the button. We up out of here. Love y'all to death. I'm ashamed. I don't have anything else to say. I love y'all. See y'all later, 7 p.m. Central. I'll be back live. Fantasy football, Underdog Fantasy. Can't wait. Peace.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.